Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Wendy here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator living in Narberth, Pembrokeshire, Wales. Now today I'm doing a take two. I did one yesterday and it really did not work out very well at all for me, so I've decided to redo it. This is Misty Moonlight, and it's a piece of A4 cut in half and scored in the middle. The stamps I'm going to be using are the lighthouse, the sand, maybe the birds and the grass and one of the sentiments from High Tides. And the moon in June, it's July, never mind. I'm going to be using the little moon. And turn here. Right, so first of all, it's sand. And then for the sand, I'm going to be using this little one here. And where's my... Oh, it's got that on. Never mind, I'll put it on top of it like that. And I'm using crumb cake for this. Now I've got to move the moon for a minute, Wendy. Now the little, don't have to dive into it, but remember to check your block, because as many of you know, I get a lot of problem with a certain splodge monster that comes in and attacks my cards when I'm not looking. So I'm constantly now checking my blocks just in case it comes visiting again. I think that's the point. I'm going to get the pointy end, snap it off a bit, and then I'm going to do it so that it looks like it's the cliff going into the sea bit. So you can see the dilly what's down there. It looks like sea foam almost. Don't worry about it being patchy. That'll be fine. That's no problem. Right, I'm going to line my stamps up. Now, I put a line up there. He goes there, and I put a line down here at the bottom. So these can sit tidy there. And when I did this is a two-step stamping. You've got the fancy one, and then you've got the plain one. Now then the fancy one, there's one, there's two, right. And what I did last time, I did the dark before the light, the light before the dark. But today I'm going to do it the other way around. Now to me, number 2 is the one that's got like this little mesh on the top there. That's a class as number 2. So I'm going to put it on here. Like I said, don't worry if it's not touching the sand or anything. We're gonna do something about that afterwards. Put that there before I forget. There. Now then, I'm going to go down now. I'm going to go in with the darker. No, that's not the darker, Wendy. Misty Moonlight. So that's the one I'm going to be using today. Now be careful with these ink pads because they are very juicy. So they're going to go everywhere otherwise. I'm going to clean my door. They say really you don't have to, but I'm always cautious of things coming down. Right, so we'll put this down here now. Just run my finger up like that. I'm just pressing it very hard. I'm just giving it a little rub over the top. And there we go. I'm happy with that. What I've started doing lately as well is if you wipe your stamp off first with a piece of kitchen roll or whatever, then when you use your chamois, you don't get that much, so your chamois stays cleaner for longer. Now then, number 2, I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but I'm try lining it up. Now the way I like doing it, you see the top there looks like a bobble hat, doesn't it? We'll try and get that bobble hat right on top of each other. What I do then is I hold the top and just try and position the bottom half. That's the beauty of these photopolymer. You can see right through them. Right, now then I'm going to put this crumb cake away because I know I will get my fingers in it. Now then, so we use the Misty Moonlight for that, and now I'm using the Seaside Spray. Whoops. Again, this is quite a juicy one, so little bunny hops. Check your glass. I almost do it as a ritual stamp. Check your glass, stamp, check your glass. Whew. And just give it another little rub. Also, the beauty with using the Stamparatus is that if for some reason it doesn't print solid for the first time, you can always go back and try again. Nope, that to me is fine. No problem at all. Right, wipe with there, wipe with that, and put it back. Right. So now then, that's the lighthouse done. Oh, grass. Green ink, that's what I haven't got. What I'm using, no, I'm not using that one. No, I'm not, because you don't do that anymore. Sorry. Using Old Olive. Now this is my go-to green ink. This is open, and yes, I go to that every time because it seems to be just the right type of green, if you know what I mean. There's greens and there's greens, isn't there? Right, I'm just hoping now that, right, there we are. This dinky little, what I call a touch block. It's block number, sorry, not number, letter A. So this is the smallest block the Stampin' Up! Do. Just going to press it very gently. And I'm not being too fussy about getting it all because I'm just going to sort of stamp it all over the place, as they say. Come back again and stamp in between. Here we go. More, I'll step off a minute here. There we go. So there's that one done. Put that one back. Now then, I did the birds yesterday as well. Now that I've got to make sure that they're Wendy, right way round, because yesterday I did it and the poor birds were flying upside down. But there we are, never mind. We all make these little mistakes because we're not perfect. And if we were perfect, then it wouldn't be much fun, would it? It's always nice to make a mistake. Well, I think so too, in any case. Okay, I'm using the Misty Moonlight. Check my door because there's some ink on it. You bring it round and the birds can go there. Again, not putting very much pressure on it. Just a little bit of pressure and there's the birds. Oh, don't worry, that was the stamp. The case underneath. Now then, what does this one say? Nope. High tide, low tide, I'll be by your side. What's this one? There's nothing little about the light you shine. Now that I do like. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus for this as well. Put it up there. Put that on, because what I did forget to do, I forgot to see. Uh-oh, bits of something went in there. Put it on there. Don't worry about an angle or anything, because we're only doing a little bit of sea. So I'm going to go first into the Seaside Spray and just do little bits. Turn it over because we don't want it to go, oops. Didn't seem to want to work today, does it? That's a bit better. Clip a stamp off. I'm always careful of doing that now, because the other day I went to stamp with a stamp and the stamp hadn't been cleaned. So I've left a little bit there, so I'll show you what to do with that. Now what was I? Oh yes, the sentiment. Let me just make sure it's in the right place, because I did move the cards a bit. And I am going on to Misty Moonlight again. Here we go, there's just a little bit that light you shine. Check the door. Bring it down. Again, just give it a little light press. That'll do fine. That'll do nicely, sir. Give that a wipe. Now then, there's only one, well, a couple of things to do. First of all, I want to do the moon. And I'm going to use... Oh. It was right by the side of me. I'm going to use basic grey, but I'm going to stamp it off first. Because that is too black for the moon. If I go again, yeah, that's a bit better. So just do it, stamp it off once, then bring it up here, and we'll put it up in the sky there. So, well, you wouldn't put it anywhere else, Wendy, would you? Oh, daft woman. There we go. Oh, I was going to fill that bit in, wasn't I? Right, what we're going to do now then, because there's that gap there where I couldn't quite get the water up properly, I'm going to come back now on, I'm going to come back, sorry, to, did I just clean that? I don't know, better not. I'm going to come back now to this little stamp and my crumb cake. Very, very carefully. Just fill that in there. There we go. I'm not going to do any more because it might spoil it. And that's the last thing I want to do now after doing all of this, is spoil it. There we are. Sorry, I've gone quiet now because I'm thinking. Never good when Wendy goes quiet, because Wendy's thinking. And when Wendy's thinking, then, well, you never know what's going to happen. Just double check I cleaned the moon off. It's a beautiful day here in Narberth. I hope you are, you're also having a good one. I'm just going to fiddle about a bit now and wait for that to dry before I start sticking it on the cards. Ooh, that's sharp. Right, so then, what have I got? Ah, here we go. Right, I've got shimmery paper. This is World of Good. And if you look, this here says Belgium and London. And right in the corner here is Cardigan Bay, and I live right down there. This side of Swansea, about an inch away from Swansea. Let's put this as a mat. I've tried today for the first time using Do Not Disturb on my phone. So I'm hoping that, well, it's worked up to this far, but then you never know whether it's because nobody's called you or because it's worked. So that's on there. Right, take this off. Oh, I know what I was going to do as well, just for a little bit more delay. I got here, they call a Wink of Stella. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit on the sea and a little bit on this moon. Now, a Wink of Stella is like glitter in a pen, if you know what I mean. You can't see it, unfortunately, until it dries, so you just have to take my word for it that there is glitter on top of the moon. If I could see what I'm filming, then I knew I'd be in the right position to show you. But right, check the card is the right way round. I nearly didn't get it right because I nearly put it upside down then. Yeah, that was my mistake earlier, sorry. But a card has two sides for a reason. Well, that's my excuse, and I'm going to stick to it now. They've got plenty of glue there, so I've got a little bit of wiggle room. Oops, come down, 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 down a bit more, down a bit more. Here we go. That's about right, I think. Yeah, I think that's about right. Now then, what I'll do now, wipe that. I turn it over and I press from here. Because if I press from the other side and the ink isn't dry, well, everywhere. So there we are. My Mark II card. And there's nothing little about the light you shine. I hope you enjoyed this, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye.